Good evening, our viewer. A very warm welcome wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much for always tuning in and keeping it here at Prayer Cave TV. We say this is a place we come, get equipped, we learn, we get educated, entertained by our various programs. And as we say, this is your all-time sport, the Youth Nation Show. And I am your favorite host, Maureen Boyani. And today on set, we have so much goodies for you guys. So you don't need to move from there. There's so much in store for us. And we believe that at the end of this session today, we've got to learn a lot of things. So get your paper and pen because you're going to write. And as usual, we have our own and only...
It's your guy, Ron Kenoli Okusi, your co-host for the day. And we do have a lot to speak about, and especially the topic. It's going to be a little bit deep and a little bit logical. It's quite unusual, but it's going to be of help, really.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ron. Good to see you today. Good to see you too. And as I had promised, we have our guest on set. I will not introduce them. I want them to introduce themselves, even as we get to know them and know what they do. Let us start with our lady. And you're very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Boyani, for giving me this opportunity. My name is Barbara Muller Oyer. First of all, I'm the CEO of Spark Communication. But something also very dear to my heart, I'm also the founder and patron of Spark Empower Mentorship Program. This is a program that works a lot with students in the university as we equip them with the necessary life skills as they work towards transitioning from campus to the job market.
Great. And to our gentleman here.
Thank you, Boyani. My name is Amani Kituto. I am a lawyer, I am an entrepreneur, I am a software developer. You can say I'm a multi-potentialite. Yes. Wow. And other than that, I am also a mentee at Spark Empower, and I thank you for this opportunity.
You're most welcome. As you've heard, this is a power pack, vile tu wamesema I can't even start explaining because we are going to get to know much and even get to learn a lot from them. And today we are talking about career development. I know this is something that wengi wetu ilitusumbua when we got to that place in life, and today we are glad because we have people who are going to hold our hands and help us cross to the other side and exactly understand what are the right things that we're supposed to do in that moment and what are we not supposed to do. Some of us, we made a lot of mistakes. We wish we had people like this who would hold our hands and just tell us, guys, this is how we do it, this is how we don't do it. And so karibu sana once again.
Thank you.
So maybe just to start with and get to understand, when we talk about career development, what exactly are we talking about? And maybe you can just tell us your history, your journey with career, and we'll proceed from there.
All right. Wow. Career development basically is the path that you put in place as you work on your passion in life, and most of the times this starts after we've cleared campus. Sure. A lot changes, yes, from the time you finish campus. Because also I know there's so many people who did not end up doing what they studied. Yeah, but it's all about the path that you chart as you grow in your life, that is also relevant and in tune to the demands of the market. To speak into my career journey, wow. When I was growing up, and this is a story I was telling my kids the other day, I really wanted to be a hair hostess. Wow. Because of the glam and just seeing aeroplanes passing by our house, and I was just saying this is the it, Then that changed when I was seeing the little Kathleen Kasavuli on screen, and then my career changed to now I wanted to be a journalist, and that is actually what I studied in school, journalism, because I wanted to be on screen. It was being on screen. Okay. Unfortunately, after finishing, I didn't end up getting a job and my career took a sales trajectory because my first job now after campus was a receptionist. Okay. And while being a receptionist, I used to admire my brother a lot. He was one of the top salespeople at Coca-Cola then. And I admired him because of the money he used to make.
Okay.
And I said, this is it, because it is all about money.
True.
So I quickly switched now to sales, and I became a sales professional, and I enjoyed the money, you know.
So you went back to class and now?
No. I didn't go back to class.
Yeah.
I learned on the job.
Okay.
And also that is the point I started having mentors. Because one of the things I believe in as a professional is say yes and figure out the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've had that say yes, then you figure out.
Yes,
the
because
rest.
opportunities to say yes don't come every day.
It is true.
Yeah. So I said yes when that sales job opportunity came. And so I enlisted some mentors, my brother and a few other people who now held my hand and taught me sales. I'm generally an outgoing person.
Okay.
So of course, converting that to numbers for my employer was also not a hard sell for me. Of course, along the path, doing sales and marketing, sales, I ended up doing marketing, managing brands, you know. So there's been a lot of shifts between sales and marketing. In between here, I developed another passion for young people, seeing what more do I have to offer the world apart from having money in the bank. Yeah, because after all is said and done, it's really not how many billions you have. It's about the legacy that you've left behind. So due to that, that passion, I went back to school again and did an undergrad in development communication. Because I really, really wanted to understand. But then I didn't even know about this mentorship program, what would come up. But I felt I needed to do more than just me. And so in 2016, we started the mentorship program. That of course has impacted the lives of many young individuals. So between my mentorship and sustainability, on the other hand, I also run Spark Communications, which is a marketing agency. So if you look at my career trajectory, it's really a mix of so many things.
Can we say it's you're in a place where you can say now this is passion?
Yes. When we start off work to pay bills. We're looking for jobs, and it's really saddens me when I meet young people and they say nipati tu kazi yoyote. You know,
That's not a thing.
It's every young person. Even nipati tu kazi yote iko available.
Yeah, because we need
the money.
Yeah, but even as you need the money, you need to know your value. Because when you tell an employer, nipati tu kazi yoyote, the first question I ask myself, are you really the right person for me? Do I want to just have somebody who wants to do anything?
But
or somebody who...
It comes from a place of desperation, you know. Maybe you've tried, you've knocked every door you can, but nothing is coming through. And now you're in a place where anything that comes along, I'm going to do this. Boyani, just to give you some background about my career, when I finished campus, I didn't get a paying job immediately. And of course, there are bills to be paid. Yeah, there's rent to be paid. But I went to a Christian media house, and they offered me a voluntary internship, which I was willing to do to gain experience, you know. But in between that, I asked my boss on the side that yes, I'm doing this for experience, but I also need to pay my bills. So beyond this, can I double up as a receptionist? Instead of sitting in the gallery with everybody, let me sit here and earn that 10,000. So you see, in that case, I'm still pursuing my career and still earning money. And what I tell young people, because I understand it gets to a point you really want to do something, have that conversation with your employer. Say, this is my value. And when you ask about your value, remember to add tax. Know your worth and add the tax, because the taxman will want their bits, you know. So as you work around what you want to do, you want something to do, let it be very clear from the onset, so that the respect is established from the onset, so that your employer knows that you're a serious person. Never tell your employer
anything.
Mhm.
Kitu yoyote tu.
Mhm.
Say, no, I've left campus, I don't have the experience, but I'm willing to start from this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the secret
Mhm.
is to be specific
Yes.
on the
Yes.
thing that you want.
So that even if the opportunity is not available right now,
Mhm.
yes, I'll start by cleaning your car. But no,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be here to clean your car.
True.
I'll clean your car because I need money,
Mhm.
but eventually I need to be in the team doing
Sure.
sales. I need to be in the team doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
True.
Yes.
Wow, that's so powerful.
I'm
Yeah.
just curious on the part of starting Spark Communication.
Yes.
What inspired that?
What inspired me starting Spark Communication is two things. One is I wanted to do business differently. Yeah, at that time I felt God was calling me to the community. Where I was working, it was all about profits,
Mhm.
and I wanted a business that I could put people before profits.
Mhm.
When you're employed, you cannot call the shots,
Yeah, sure.
but in your business, you're able to call the shots. So that is one of the things that drove me to start Spark Communication,
Mhm.
so that I can run a sustainable business that goes beyond profits.
Yeah.
At Spark, we're also members of UN Global Compact, and we subscribe to the SDGs. Yes, which I know my previous employer would not have given me that opportunity to onboard that.
Mhm.
Number two, I was a young mother, and I wanted flexibility.
Mhm.
Yes, I believe in cooking meals for my family,
Mhm.
which most employers would not give me that flexibility. I wake up and I still do breakfast for my family. I drop my children to school. I pick them from school. And the only way I do that is setting up my business so that I can work around my schedules.
Mhm.
So those two things drove me to business, and I really thank God that I've been able to, balance my work and my family quite in an easy way.
Oh,
Yes.
We can see we have a mentee under your
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
So how has it been so far?
So far, my career development journey has been a mix of very many things.
It's been a cocktail.
Yes, I would say that. Yeah. So maybe I'd start from when I was a child.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when I was young, I was very athletic.
Mhm.
Very athletic. I was actually a semi-professional footballer, you might say.
Wow.
So yeah,
Semi-professional. Why not professional?
because I didn't eventually pursue that path, but I was young. I was actually in class 8. I was scouted by a team in the UK. They wanted to pick me, but my parents were like, "So utasoma ama."
Utacheza.
What's the thing with African parents on that? But
I
we'll
know.
come on it.
Yeah. So yeah, eventually the dream died, and I had to pursue education full time.
Mhm.
And now the question was, what career path should I take?
Mhm.
So when I was young, I always wanted to fight for people's rights and just represent people. So I said, I'm good in history, so I might as well go and study law.
Mhm.
So I applied for and got admitted to Strathmore University,
Mhm.
where I studied law and graduated recently. And when I was actually studying law, and we were on the COVID period,
Mhm.
so I was at home, and I identified a need in the market for delivery services, because I live in Kajiado, specifically a place called Kiserian.
Mhm.
And that time people were really using these apps to get food,
Mhm.
and I was wondering, none of these apps deliver to my area. So what do I do? I'm a lawyer. I have no experience in coding. I've never started a business before,
Mhm.
but I just decided to maybe put my foot forward and let's see how it goes. So with the help of my friend who was a software developer,
Mhm.
we were able to develop the app after a period of around 1 to 2 years, and now it's ready for the market. So yeah, that's just one aspect of my life that I would say is a hobby, but it might be something else in future. Let's see how it goes.
Wow. And would you say now this is where my heart is?
I would say I'm still discovering my passion.
It's still a process.
But something I realized is you don't necessarily have to have one passion and one career to follow. If you have passions that are different, you can find a way to integrate them both and find a way to make it marketable. For me, I saw there's a gap in the market also for lawyers who understand tech. And not only understand it, but can also manipulate it to their advantage and make them stand out in the field. So this year I actually decided, let me try and learn how to develop these apps that I already made. Instead of having someone do them for me, I can also learn the framework myself. So I started software development at Moringa, and I'm now learning to become a full stack software developer.
Yes. Maybe to, even as we talk about this career path, I know there's someone who is watching us, especially a young person who is totally confused where they are now. They don't know exactly what they need to do. I've ever given my story. Like when I was starting, one thing I was told is to do an economic driving course, which was not really what I deep down wanted. And so when I was getting into school, is get the brochure and look for an economic driving course. And I did one, but later after graduating, then I realized, you know what? My course is not really stable. It's a mix of two. So where do I lean on? Where do I not? And now I got another advice. You know what? Ladies in tech. And good to hear you're from Moringa. I'm also from Moringa. And so I joined Moringa to do software development. And I think it was less than an year. I think 3 months into it, and I realized, you know what, this is not even my head. I cannot deal with this. You see, now I get into another line. I used to love events. Now I get into events. Kidogo, kidogo. I love pastry. I go into baking class. It's like, this person is not really, they don't know what exactly they want. And I believe there's so many people who are there. And maybe you can just advise this young person who is now maybe in their 4th year or maybe joining campus and they are not sure of what career path to take.
Well, 4th year is really okay not to know. Actually, if you ask most professionals, they'll tell even by 4th year, because most people you'll hear telling you they went to study this particular course because of pressure from parents, because your dad wanted to do engineering, he probably did not end up doing so. He wants to live that dream through you. So you end up, because he's done paying the school fees, you end up going to do engineering. So it's not something to worry a young person. I always say between 20, before you get to 40, you have all the time to test and try. Why?
Did
because
you just say 40?
Yes, before you get to 40, you have all the time to test and try. One, because your energy levels are also still high. You also don't have many responsibilities, you know, especially when you're young in campus. You don't have children to worry, to worry about stability. So try out as much as possible. You will settle. Don't be in a hurry. Try out whatever you want to try out. There's still time for you to figure it out. Because if you don't try out, you'll end up in a career that you'll be very miserable. You'll be stuck in a career that you're so miserable. So try. If it's pastry, you try it. If it's whatever it is, you've had Imani's journey. Yes. Before you really find your passion. It took me when did I find my passion in mentorship? After I'd hit 32. So by the time I started working 32, I was just paying bills. And there's nothing as sad as paying bills in life. You just wake up to pay bills. So try out. Okay, try out, because as you try out, you're paying bills, but you'll settle in your passion at some point.
But there's someone now who is wondering now, of course, pursuing all this, there's money involved. Like, no, this one does not work. You have to do this other one, and money is involved. So, are we not? Can we not say that there's a way you can just sit, evaluate yourself, you know, and come up this one line that you pursue? Which is right, Boyani. And as a young person, and it's just what we've done with the session we've done with Imani's cohort at the mentorship program. Our first 2 sessions are geared towards helping you discover yourself, helping you understand yourself.
goal setting and orientation, because that gives you time to do a SWOT analysis of your strengths, your weaknesses, because your passions most of the time lies on your strength. The opportunities are available, because you also want to ensure your passion aligns with the opportunities that are available. Yeah. And then what are the threats in the market? So when you're able to do your SWOT, you do your goal setting, then you do a session on career development through the mentorship program. It helps you really unpack and get to understand which direction you want to take. So to answer to any young person who's at that crossroad wondering what do I do, is first get to do really a SWOT analysis of yourself, and get 2-3 people. Before the show started, we were talking about board of directors, personal board of directors. Get 2-3 people that you look up to also do a SWOT of who you are, and let them give you independent feedback. Out of that feedback, plus the feedback you've given yourself, then you're able to know, you'll have a general idea of, this is my strength. And out of your strength, you're able to know which direction am I going to take? What skills? If I love coding, if everybody tells you you're good at coding, then why do you want to pursue medicine? For instance. You can still pay the bills and pursue coding without wasting time. In our generation, we didn't have mentors to guide. If I had somebody when I was in my 21, 22 to do a SWOT analysis with me, perhaps I'd have started the mentorship program much earlier, because I'd have discovered that passion earlier, So to also avoid that time wasting before you finally get there, why don't you just sort it out immediately by doing your SWOT analysis, having 2-3 people helping you do that SWOT analysis to get to really understand, unpack who you are, I tell young people, call yourself for a meeting, call yourself for a board meeting, and speak to yourself and really be real with yourself. You have the answers.
There are people who don't understand the SWOT analysis.
Yes.
If you could just
Okay.
describe it.
SWOT analysis is just unpacking your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities that are available, and then also the threats. AI is a threat now. Yes. So will AI render me jobless, for instance? If AI is going to render me jobless, then what are the other opportunities? How do I ensure I work around it? How do I ensure I overcome that threat? These are my strengths as Barbara. How do I monetize my strengths? How do I make my strengths pay the bills for me? And if these are my strengths, these are also my weaknesses. One of the weaknesses I've been fighting for a very long time is procrastination. And it had to get my coach to tell me, 2024, we are working on this. Because I'm such a last minute person. Even in school, I used to see, I have a whole term to revise, but I start translating and putting my legs in a basin the night before the exams, and that is procrastination. So if this is my weakness, procrastination, how do I work to overcome this weakness so that my strength can be illuminated more than the weakness? Opportunities. My strength is with people. What are the opportunities for me to work with the communities within my area? Here in Nairobi, because I might be wanting something that might not be practical within my local setup. I might be wanting something that is only available in Germany. And I'm here in Nairobi. Even getting a ticket to Germany is just a dream that may never come true. So within my area, what can I use? I keep on asking young people, what's in your hand? Because it is what you have in your hand that you start to use before you go to your next level. So those are the opportunities. Then it's also looking at the threats in the markets. There's some courses that everybody's doing. So it's not marketable. You don't want to go for such courses that are not marketable, that everybody's doing. There are some courses that it's probably they're really looking for people with expertise in that. Then you become headhunted. As opposed to you dropping your CV in every office. Then they headhunt you. I have a young mentee for last year's cohort, the other year's cohort. He came and told me he's being paid 400,000. I asked, he was just 24. How are you being paid 400,000? but it's because of the skill that he has. Very few people have that skill in this country. Yeah, so it's just you getting to really understand who you are in terms of your strength, the weakness, what are the opportunities, what is the market asking for, yeah, and you aligning yourself with what the market is asking for, because a lot of things are changing. And also, how do I work around the threats that keep on presenting themselves? Foresee those threats before they happen. Don't wait until AI is here, then you're told now you're not. Yes, try and foresee those threats in 5 years. What will be the threats in marketing today? Yeah, for example, and one of the things we're working on as an organization is how do we incorporate AI in our business? Because if you don't do that, you're going to be obsolete as an agency very soon. So already we had foreseen it, and we're working towards it, not waiting until the day you want to shut down and you start thinking on, yes.
Oh, wow. Amani, did you do the SWOT analysis yourself?
Yes. Fortunately, I've been a recipient of career development since a very young age. I think my parents were very intentional about what path I should take, and aligning with what my mom calls destiny helpers, to help you in your journey. So they really exposed me to different people in different careers. When I was interested in business, they would get me a business mentor. When I was interested in law, they got me a legal mentor. And I would say they've really shaped how my mind has understood the current trends in the market and how I can align myself to them. Yeah, so I would say career development is something you have to do that is very intentional. You have to decide to do it, and sometimes your passion might not be a feeling you feel every day. Also, you just have to show up every day and just be consistent.
Wow, that is
so just to add something now that Imani has mentioned about his parents, and I think this is also a challenge to parents who are watching, is to be very intentional in how you raise your children. I didn't know about Imani. It's his mom who told me about him, and he says, I want my son to join the program. Yeah, she's a very intentional mother. If you look at children who are successful, yeah, their parents have done a lot behind the scenes, you know. I tell my little girls about Serena and Venus Williams, the tennis players, and the work their father was their coach, you know. And if you look at that success, your parents should be your first mentor. So if you're a parent watching and you're not mentoring your children, you need to up your game, because that is the first point of contact. There's something that a parent does that a child cannot get anywhere. There's some level of belief, you know, and affirmation. If I know mom has my back, then
you just
you know you can conquer the world. So parents, really, we need to be present. We need to be the first board of directors for our children, ideally.
Well, that is awesome. We're going to take a very short break, and when we're back, we're going to explore more about mentor and mentorship. How do we identify good mentors, and are these mentors available, you know? So keep it here at PrayerCaveTV, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, our viewers. Thank you so much for always tuning in and keeping it here at PrayerCaveTV. Thank you so much, because we know that you get edified, entertained, equipped, and educated by our various programs that we bring to you. And as we usually say, this is your all-time spot, the Youth Nation Show, and I am your favorite host, Borin Boyani. And today in studio, we have a very interesting guest who are taking us through career development and what are the do's and the don'ts, where do we need to up our game, you know, and become better, even as we strive to become better in our areas of careers. And we want to learn more about mentorship. What is the role of mentorship in career development? Do we really need mentorship and how do we even get mentors? You know, sometimes there are people you admire, you want to get to, but there's always this thing that tells you, hey, ule hata huwezi mfikia. Maybe we can talk more about mentorship and what's the role of mentorship in career development.
I'd say that a mentor is a necessity if you want to grow as a young person, because a mentor plays such an integral role in helping you structure yourself, in helping you unpack your goals, in keeping you accountable, because we are human beings, and you find we set goals at the beginning of the year, and most of us, even in this room, I can ask you our goals from January to now, who is tracking? Who is up to date?
Even last year's, we didn't even accomplish.
And it's normal. But when you have a mentor, then the mentor is able to help you track and realize those goals for you. A mentor opens doors for you. My first employment opportunity, paid employment opportunity, was a door opened by my first mentor, Wangari Murugu, whom I'd met at the Nairobi Hospice, and she's still my mentor to date. So yes, for you to grow far, you have to stand on the shoulders of giants.
Wow, that is powerful. Maybe there's someone who is watching us and he's wondering, how do I even spot one? Or maybe I've already spotted, but now how do I approach even this person?
Okay. Again, to speak into mentorship can be active mentorship, or it can also be passive. When you talk about passive mentorship, because every day we are being mentored and probably don't know what that is mentorship. When I'm reading a book by Michelle Obama, Becoming, I'm drawing lessons from that book. That is mentorship. When I'm watching a podcast by Vusi Thembekwayo, I've never met him, but I'm learning from him. That is passive mentorship. Active mentorship is when you intentionally enlist somebody as your mentor. And to any young person who's looking for active mentorship, first is to get to understand who you are first, because you also don't want to waste a mentor's time.
True that.
Really get to understand who you are and what you're looking for in the season, because life is about seasons. In this season that I'm in, I want somebody who will help me define my career path. If my career path is medicine, probably now in that in such a person's life, your mentor would be somebody in the medical world, who will be able to advise you appropriately and open those doors for you. So once you've known where you are at, and who you want, what you want, then you look at who is my hero, who is my Superman in this area. If it's medicine, who is this doctor that I look at and I really admire? I say in 10 years, I want to be like this doctor. And apart from these doctors, who are his peers? Because sometimes you might want Dr. X and they're not available. But who are his peers?
Nice.
Yes. So once you've enlisted 5 of the same people, then you can reach out to them. You can reach out to one of them at a time. I always say if you have access to them in terms of their number, call them up. Book an appointment and go see them. One of the things I see the fears with young people, which I tell young people, it's such a fallacy, because older people are really yearning to mentor the next generation. On the other hand, younger people are afraid to reach out to the older people. So take the step of courage. Very few times you'd find a mentor turning you down. I had a mentor, I really wanted her to mentor me, but she was not available due to her work schedules. But she did not just drop me. What she did is she gave me somebody else. She said, no, I feel in this season I may not add value because of my busy schedules, but I'll give you person X to work with you. And it turned out even person X was much better than person Y. So mentors will not most of the time leave you hanging. They'd want to work with you. So reach out to these people, but when you reach out to these people, also show you're structured. Yes. When you meet person X, also show the value you're giving these people, because in life my philosophy is be a giver, not a taker. Yes, because even for this mentor who's 50 something, there's something they'd want to learn from you. When you come to my business and you say, you know what, because I'm struggling right now to learn about AI. Yeah, but these young people are very good at that.
Sure.
So for instance, Imani wants me to mentor him. If he came with that angle and say, no, Barbara, I think your business where it is, you need to incorporate AI, and I'm willing to show you how. That way it will be easy for me to listen to him, because our schedules are also busy, as opposed to, hi, I want you to mentor me.
I know.
Without any structure.
Yeah. I get a lot of those ones on LinkedIn. Hi, I admire you, I want you to mentor me.
Yeah.
Then you leave it at that. You know? So find a talking point with your mentor, an icebreaker.
Sure.
Then once you have that icebreaker, because if you're going to tell me about AI, I also want to pour into you. You're a young person. Yeah. But I also want to pour into a young person who's serious.
True.
Who knows what they want. Not anything. You know, if a young person came to me and said, you know, I want to be a doctor, I'm studying this at UON, I just need direction. That is somebody I'd want to work with. Yeah.
For Amani, you had mentioned that you had mentors while you were trying to get into passions and stuff.
Yeah.
How was it, like, the experience?
I'd say it was very insightful and very eye-opening. Because, you know, you say you should learn from experience, but if you can learn from someone else's experience and avoid the mistakes they made or potential mistakes you could make, it would be very beneficial for you.
And being a young person, the way she has mentioned, the fear of speaking to mentors, how are you handling it? Like,
I'd say I'm still handling it.
it's still a journey.
Yeah, because I'd say I'm not an extrovert by nature, but it's something you need people to work with you in your life. So you also need to get out of your comfort zone, unfortunately, because all those opportunities are waiting for you just at the end of your comfort zone. So once you step out of your comfort zone, embrace mentorship, embrace talking to older people. I believe that it would really put you on the right trajectory for life.
Yeah. So for skills, a little bit, how often should you always try to renew your skills?
Wow. I think one of the traditions I've done since 2016, sorry, we can share the picture, is to invest in my personal development. Yeah. And I tell young people, if you don't invest in your personal development, I tried sometimes to use very harsh words. The difference between you and somebody at Langata cemeteries, there's not much difference. Yeah. Because you're all stuck at the same point. You're all dead. Yes. The world is really evolving every day. Yeah. Every day when I wake up to watch CNN, there's something new. Yeah. So number one, immediately you start working. Be intentional about investing in personal development. Do a course. There are a lot of free online courses, you know, because young people say, oh, I don't have the money, which is understandable. But online, even Harvard University, I was going through last week, they published a list of free courses that they're issuing.
With Harvard?
Yes, with Harvard University. I could send them to you. So there's really no excuse for lack of personal growth and upskilling yourself. Yeah, money or no money, resources or no resources, because a lot of this, there are a lot of free courses. A lot of organizations, NGO-funded organizations, are giving free courses, free webinars, you know. So it's all about you understanding, what do I want and where can I get this information. I've spoken about my desire for AI. This month I've registered for 2 AI courses that are absolutely free because I want to learn. Last month I did a course on data protection that was also free because I need to understand data protection in our current setup. So for a young person, always be upscaling your skills. Always be reading. Always be researching. Yeah, because the world has become so competitive. The questions you were asked in an interview last year, same time, I guarantee you,
can't.
they're not the same questions that will be asked tomorrow.
Just true.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. You have to just evolve. That's the reality.
Mhm.
You have to evolve or die.
It is true. There's so much misconception when it comes to getting into careers. There's some careers zenye unaambia ukichagua hiyo utarudi nayo nyumbani, like you won't go anywhere with it. And again, living in this era of Gen Zs, they don't want to go to school. It is them and their laptops, and they believe making money in being influencer. Maybe you can even tell us if an influencer is a course or what that is, because they believe like if you're an influencer, then you're good to go. There's money, there's all that you need. So having a career that is to the list that they need. Maybe you can just tell us more about the misconception around that.
Wow, Boyani, I hope parents will not slaughter me after this.
Here we say PrayerCaveTV, the truth that sets us
because I'm
free.
also a very controversial parent. Let's accept the fact that times have changed.
Mhm.
I remember when we were growing up, we had to be a doctor, a teacher,
Yeah.
a lawyer,
Mhm.
engineer. Those were the recognized pilots.
This is true.
And we told, so and so's son went to Moi,
Yeah.
did law, so and so's daughter. But really, times have changed.
Very true.
Yeah. And we need to really be agile enough to work with the current times. As an employer, I don't look for a degree when I'm hiring.
Mhm.
Degree has become secondary.
Mhm.
And sometimes when I see CVs, ads that says master's degree and what, it's okay, but it's not something for me. I'd be keen.
Mhm.
I'm more keen on attitude
Mhm.
and passion
Oh.
as opposed to degree.
Mhm.
Yeah, because skills are taught.
True.
You've seen these young people who come from campus. Yes, they have the papers, but they can't give me the work. I still have to train you.
Mhm.
It does not mean you leave campus today and you'll deliver for me tomorrow.
Yeah.
I still have to invest 6 months to 1 year.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the difference between you and somebody who didn't go to campus, it's not much.
Mhm.
I think the only thing is that being in school, there's a way it prepares your mind
Yeah.
really for the job market, but it does not necessarily contribute
Mhm.
to your outputs at work.
Mhm.
So I respect all professions.
Mhm.
I respect influencers. We have influencers who earn more than all of us here.
That is true.
Yes.
Mhm.
And they're putting food on the table. They're taking
Yeah.
care of their families.
Mhm.
Today, if my daughter came and told mommy, I want to be a DJ.
Mhm.
I've paid school fees until you've gone to campus. Then you want to be a DJ.
Mhm.
I say it's okay. That's what makes you happy.
Mhm.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But most parents wouldn't go with that. Nimelipa school fees yote alafu
Yeah.
nitaka kuwa DJ.
Mhm.
I mean,
As a parent, let's guide our children,
Mhm.
but let us not dictate. As a young person, be bold, be fearless.
Mhm.
Don't do an engineering course to please the society or to please your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only have one life to live.
True.
If your skills are in the disk turntables, see how to monetize your skills.
Mhm.
Yeah. So long as you do it in an environment that respects the society,
Yeah.
that does not go against the society values of the society.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. I know a lot of so many people who never entered university,
Mhm.
but they're doing so well in their careers.
Mhm.
On the same hand, I have so many of my friends who are masters and have doctorates, and they're still doing well.
Yeah.
So we all have different paths.
Mhm.
God has given us different paths. Embrace your journey.
Mhm.
Yeah. And nobody should judge you because you're not doing the conventional
Mhm.
courses. Yes. I have a friend of mine who is very good at coding,
Mhm.
but he didn't go past Form 2.
Wow.
And now UN is using him a lot for coding and he's making money.
Mhm.
Yeah. At Form 2, he was labeled the rebellious child
Mhm.
because he dropped out. And we have those seasons in life. It's
Yeah.
not how much you fall.
Mhm.
It's, am I willing to pick myself up? After being 4 years in the cold and suffering, he said, you know what, I can try out something.
Yeah.
And now he's been able to rebuild himself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's not about your papers. It's more of the attitude that you have, because skills can be taught.
Skills are always taught.
Wow.
Yeah. But when you have a wrong attitude,
Mhm.
nobody will want to touch you.
That is true.
and the
Yes.
passion to learn.
And the passion.
So for your company,
Yes.
so how do you do your mentorship? A little bit of description.
Spark Empower is a 9-month mentorship program. And at the beginning of each year, we onboard a fresh cohort as we even graduate the previous cohort of the previous year. This year, 2024, we've been privileged to onboard 58 mentees into the mentorship. So the mentees apply. Yeah, we send out call for applications through our contacts in different campuses across the country, through our social media platforms, and the mentees get to apply. The application process is also very vigorous because one of the things you also ask for is a video. You upload your video of why you want to be mentored because you're going to expose you. Yes, and we also want people who are committed. So once they have applied and we've shortlisted and gotten our team, then we start the journey. The journey is a 9-month program, which happens in 2 fronts. Number one, we have the classroom settings that happens the first Saturday of each month. This year, we partnered with Safaricom, and they're hosting us. So we are doing all our mentorship programs at Safaricom House in Westlands. So we meet the first Saturday of each month, and when we meet, we have a structured curriculum that we take our mentees through. Yes. So when we start off, the first month is orientation and goal setting. Then immediately after that, the second month, they do a course on career development and CV writing. I think Amani has spoken into it. Then we do digital branding. Yes. Because you also want to ensure the person you are is reflected on social media. Yeah. You're not Ron Kenoli, but on social, you're Justin Bieber. Calling yourself something else, and even your values are reflected. I can connect. This is the same person. So after career development, we take them through digital branding. We have a course on sexuality. There's a lot of unhealthy sexual practices happening in our campuses today. And we feel we need to sensitize our young people. We still advocate for abstinence, because that was God's command to us. So we still, however much the world is the way it is today, we still want to encourage our young people to abstain. We have financial literacy. How do I make money, my friend? Yeah. How do I save at an early age? How do I have my priorities right financially? We have entrepreneurship. Because not all of us will get jobs, but we all have skills. So by the time you're leaving, you've done your own projects on entrepreneurship to help you just unlock these skills. So that even if I'm still employed, I can still have something else I'm doing on the side, which hoping eventually will be your main thing, your main gig. We have sustainability. I believe in us doing business that goes beyond profits, but business that is centered around people. So we take our mentees through sustainability, and each year they appoint the sustainability champions. This year they've already appointed 2 champions. They work on a sustainability project which they have to present.
These are the mentees now.
The mentees now. They work on the sustainability project which they have to present before they graduate. We have sales and pitching. Because even when you go for an interview, you're pitching to your employer. Are you married, Ron?
Not yet.
But when you want to marry, you have to pitch to this lady. You have to sell yourself. Yeah. So the reality is every day we are selling ourselves.
That's true.
But am I selling myself effectively? So we have a team of experts who also take us through sales and marketing. So the program is 9 months. Then at the end of it, we do a team building. Just to recap and reflect, then they graduate. Apart from that, we also pair our mentees with a mentor. Because 9 months is also a long time. You can be coming to the sessions and going and then you leave empty. It happens.
It's possible.
It's like going to church. If I ask you what your pastor spoke about on Sunday, probably you don't remember.
It was powerful.
Jesus, yeah, I was so blessed. I was so blessed.
Yeah.
That's where it ends. But we match our mentees to mentors first based on the skills. If somebody is in engineering, they'll want to partner give you a mentor who's in engineering to work with you through the 9 months. Because when you remember, we started off with goal setting. And when we start off with goal setting, the mentees do their goals. So it's one thing, like we've said, you can have your goals and you put them under your pillow. But now your mentor will be meeting with you every month to also help you unpack those goals, to keep you accountable. You said this month you're going to apply 3 jobs. Which ones have you applied? What's the feedback? Which ones have you gone for interview? And how can I help you? You know, so the mentor is to work with you as you do your classroom sessions. You did career development this term, this month. Have you reworked on your CV? Send it to me. Let me have a look at it. Yeah, now that your CV is ready, what's the next step for next month? We are applying for jobs. Yeah, where am I applying for this job? Being your mentor, I'm older than you. I know Boyani of PrayerCaveTV. Let me send you to Boyani to see how she can help you out. So these two run concurrently. Yes.
Talking about that part where you match the mentee and the mentor, you know, there's always this thing where maybe this person has just they have just started. You have also mentioned about that part where they have to train in doing their CVs, and maybe just to steal a tip for someone, maybe you can just tell us in this age and era, this digital time, what is an effective CV? Yes.
Well, your CV basically should be able to sell yourself, because that is the first thing an employer sees before they invite you for an interview.
Yeah, but now this is someone who doesn't even have experience. They're
Yes.
just fresh from campus.
Yes.
They've gone maybe through the training, and that's all they have.
They're just passionate.
Yes.
They just have passion
And waiting to be hired.
Yes.
And they have a good attitude. So.
Yes. So the thing is, and I tell mentees is, yes, from campus, your CV might not have much. Probably just have, I went to UN and I went to this high school. At that level, if you've had volunteer experiences, add them in the CV. Even if I volunteered in church, helped out in the youth ministry during holidays, add that to your CV. And even that period before you get a job, find opportunities to volunteer, because it will add weight to your CV. But in the initial stage, I think every employer will look at that attitude. Yeah, your personality more than your experience, because you understand you've just left campus, you might not have the experience. So it's how is your attitude? How is your personality? And in your basic CV that probably has no experiences, even how have you structured it? Is the grammar correct? You know, when I look at, and one of the things I know a lot of employers do, you've provided an email address, because that speaks a lot. You've provided an email address. I'd expect probably ronkenoli@gmail.com. Yeah, but instead of having Ron Kenoli, you call yourself Nasty something 27 at.
Nasty wa Madrid.
Yes, Nasty wa Madrid 27. You know, that speaks a lot about. Yes.
It's an image.
Yes, yeah, because you can imagine in a day where you've gotten 20 CVs and you want to interview 3. That would be that. On that note, it can be a technicality of you being.
It is true.
Yes, no, because you're all the same. You all have left university. It's the same thing, but it's a small addition. This person did some volunteer work in church. This person has done this volunteer work. This person, you know, so a small thing that we look for. At that level, we also want to know your hobbies.
Yeah.
Because hobbies will tell us more about you. Yeah. What are your hobbies? Watching Netflix. Okay.
Hiking.
Are you getting?
Yeah.
So work with the community.
Yeah.
Have projects of visited Mama Lucy Children's Home. It will add a lot of value. When I was doing my CV, I added, when I started after campus, I added a lot of work that I did in high school. I was in the AIDS club, anti-AIDS club. And I added that because we used to go for a lot of outreach in high school. So that is what I added on my CV. But my employer was pleasantly surprised because I also even came for an AIDS conference. Yeah, I was in poetry, music festival.
Yeah.
And I remember even I added the cutout. I put a picture of the cutout because I came to KCC and the standard group had featured me. So I added that because that shows something about me.
Yeah.
I may not have the experience, but I'm trying to still communicate to this employer that I'm the right candidate.
Oh. Money,
Yes.
time is not on our side. This time has just elapsed. And maybe you can tell us what are the challenges that you have faced when it comes to this career development journey?
So I'd say the challenges I faced are majorly the myths about the career I chose, and specifically the life after you get a degree. Because people told me that you'd get a job immediately.
After school.
Yeah, you'd start making money immediately. You start having 100,000 plus in your bank account every month. But that's not the case for everyone. It might be for some people, but for some people it might not be the case. So for me, I asked myself, what can I do as I wait for a job? Because getting a job, you might think it's in your control, but it's not. So what can I control? I can control the time I have now. What can I do with the time I have now? What skills can I learn? Sorry. So for me, I took software development as the path, and yeah, I have an app already available on the Play Store. It's about to launch, so maybe that can be my passion if this legal career doesn't work out. But if
you have a fallback plan.
yeah, so you always have to have plan A to Z, not just A, B, C. You know?
Awesome.
And also, like Barbara said, that you have to have the right attitude. And as they say, your attitude determines your altitude. Like how far you'll go will be determined by the attitude you have. And I think people misconstrue attitude to be a feeling.
Yeah.
It's a choice you have to make. It's a choice that you have to make intentionally, and you have to make it every day when you wake up. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Barbara, even as we come to a close, maybe 30 seconds, you just give us a parting shots and tell us if someone maybe wants to join, how can they find you?
Okay. If you want to join the mentorship program, you can reach out to us on our socials at Spark Empower, and also via our website, sparkempower.com. We are on LinkedIn. We are on TikTok. I love TikTok because of the challenges. We are on Instagram and Facebook, and we love working with the Gen Zs. Yes, so our next intake will be in December because we've closed the intake for 2024. So we'll do another intake in December for the 2025 cohort. But before that, also, we post a lot of nuggets on our socials, which young people can still benefit from. Yes, and for those who have pressing needs, we also have an email address that they can send their questions, and we're able to just respond and see how to assist them.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And so that's it this evening. We are grateful that you joined us. We hope that you've gotten edified and you've gotten educated from what has been shared with you. And until next time, peace.